Welcome to Grey Propaganda, where we discuss the lies, falsehoods, and politics of the day. Today we have an article from the New York Post. Kamala Harris shows true lefty colors in CNN interview, admits her values have not changed despite major policy flip-flops, by Steve Nelson. Now, I like to compare article titles to look at the spin you might get from two different media sources. The CNN version of this interview is titled Takeaways from CNN's Interview with Harris and WALZ, and it begins with Vice President Kamala Harris said she was deeply touched by a photo of her young grandniece in pigtails watching her speak at the DNC in Chicago last week. Now, in the New York Post article begins with VP Kamala Harris showed her true colors Thursday in her first TV interview since becoming the Democratic nominee, admitting her lefty values have not changed, even though her positions on major policies have. Now, remember this when we dive into the article, but first, let's watch the video attached.
Much information.
Go for it. There's no such thing, Madam Vice President.
My family was staying with us, and including my baby nieces. And we had just had pancakes and, Auntie, can I have more bacon? Yes, I'll make you more bacon. And then we were sitting down to do a puzzle. And the phone rang, and it was Joe Biden. And he told me what he had decided to do. And I asked him, "Are you sure?" And he said yes. And that's how I learned about it.
Wow. Well, nothing makes you want to fall asleep faster than listening to Kamala talk about anything, really. But here's the article. Let's dive in. VP Kamala Harris showed her true colors Thursday in her first TV interview since becoming the Democratic nominee, admitting her lefty values have not changed, even though her positions on major policies have. Now, in a sit-down with CNN, Harris, 59, defended various backtracks when asked if voters can know what they're getting, as Republicans questioned the sincerity of her pivots to the political center on immigration, healthcare, and energy policy ahead of the November 5th election. I think the most important and most significant aspect of my policy perspective and decisions is my values have not changed. Laughable. But continuing, Harris told Dana Bash in her first sit-down since President Biden dropped out of the race on July 21st. The VP used the phrase repeatedly through the nearly hour-long interview to defend herself against allegations of political opportunism. Harris' abandoned policy stances include her pledges to eliminate private health care insurance, decriminalize illegal border crossings, ban fracking for oil and natural gas, and ban the sale of new gas-powered cars by 2035. Each of those made in 2019 when the then California senator was seeking the Democratic presidential nomination. Earlier this month, Harris floated and then also backed away from plans for price controls on groceries after widespread criticism, with former President Donald Trump, the Republican nominee, using that proposal as an opening to nickname the Veep Comrade Kamala. Trump, 78, tried for weeks to goad Harris into giving her first interview as a candidate in an attempt to end her honeymoon phase of soft press coverage, which I think we're entering now. I look so forward to debating Comrade Kamala Harris and exposing her for the fraud she is. Trump wrote on social media after the interview aired, Harris has changed every one of her long-held positions on everything. America will allow an election weaponizing Marxists to be president of the U.S. Deadlines around time. Harris defended her backtracks on banning cars powered by gasoline and banning the extraction of oil and natural gas using hydraulic fracturing or fracking by saying that her past adherence to more fervent environmentalism was correct in its sense of urgency. You mentioned the Green New Deal, and I have always believed, and I've worked on it, that the climate crisis is real, that it is an urgent matter to which we should apply metrics that include holding ourselves to deadlines around time, Harris said, often looking down as she spoke. Yeah, very boring. She has a hard time stringing any sentence of words together or getting her point across. I'm not really sure she truly understands what she's saying or what her policies are or what she believes in when she reflects inward. Now, this continues talking about not banning fracking and all of her issues, all of her policies, and then continues with, I like this section here, borders are work resulted in a number of benefits. Harris argued that she was successful in her role as Biden's point person on stemming illegal immigration, even though overall illegal crossings surged to new record highs for 3 years in a row. Harris made a single brief visit to the border area as the so-called border czar after Biden tasked her in March 21 with working with Mexico and 3 Central American countries to tackle the root causes of illegal immigration. Well, first of all, the root causes work that I did as VP that I was asked to do by my president has actually resulted in a number of benefits, including historic investments by American businesses in that region, Harris said. Well, I guess if someone's spending money, a Democrat is happy, huh? The number, and it's not them, not their money. The number of immigrants coming from that region has actually reduced since we began that work. Biden and Harris axed Trump's policies on the border during their first year in office, including halting construction of his U.S.-Mexico border wall and repudiating the Remain in Mexico policy, requiring asylum seekers to stay south of the border pending U.S. court decisions. This continues with more immigration stats. Has not been good. To sum it up, her borders are one notable visit, a few plans with companies. She didn't do much. I doubt she will do anything when she actually becomes president. I don't see how her policies are changing whatsoever. And if they are, she's not talking about them. She's not writing it down. She's not putting it on her website. She has no plan. Now, to wrap up the end of the article here, we have now she's saying, oh, we want to build a strong border. Where she has been for 3.5 years. Where has she been for 3.5 years? Trump exclaimed. Exactly my point. What is she doing now? What's her plan? She's in power now. This is Biden-Harris administration. What's your plan to fix it now? Why wait until November? Because she just wants to get elected. She has no plan. She doesn't care. Republicans have decried Harris, who have also pledged in the CNN interview to name a Republican to her cabinet, as a political chameleon who is falsely claiming to have moderated her positions in a bid to be the first woman elected president. I just saw comrade Kamala Harris answer to a very weakly phrased question, a question that was put in more as a matter of defense than curiosity, but her answer rambled incoherently and declared her values haven't changed. Trump wrote Thursday in a Truth Social post. On that, I agree. Her values haven't changed. The border is going to remain open, not closed. There will be free health care for illegal aliens, sanctuary cities, no cash bail, gun confiscation, zero fracking, a ban on gasoline-powered cars, private health care will be abolished, a 70 to 80% tax rate will be put in place and she will defund the police, America will become a wasteland. Thanks for listening. Catch you next time.